Welcome back to Parenting Teens. Are you a parent of teens? Are you interested in having insights on parenting teens? You're in the right place. And today we are going to be talking about parenting teens in a school setting. And I'm really privileged to have Issa with us today. Issa is many things. He's going to introduce himself, but I want to introduce him myself in a special way because I know he's a very modest person and he's going to skip out a number of things. So I know Issa as a head teacher. I know Issa as a teacher. I know Issa as a sportsman. I know Issa as a father. I know Issa as a social worker. I know Issa as a proud Muslim. I know Issa as a judger. Issa is many things, but Issa, you're welcome, and please introduce yourself in the way that you wish.
Thank you very much, Lillian. I'm happy to be on this show, and I'm happy to be talking about teens. My name, as already said, is Intege Issa, renowned teacher. I've taught for 28 years, and I'm still active in the field. I've taught both primary and secondary. I've gone to the highest level of head teacher. And I have a lot of things to talk about parenting teens. And when I got this experience, this opportunity, I said I need to grab it. There's a lot to share with parents. There is a lot to share with people out there. Thank you very much, Lillian, for this opportunity.
So I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you, and I'm just going to be reading them out. The first one is, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what your experiences have been with teens.
Thank you very much. I will start with being a parent myself. I've parented teens. Number two, being a teacher at primary and secondary level. I've had a lot of experience with teens, both with the children, but also with the parents. But on top of that, I've also tried to mentor and guide teachers who come out from teacher-trained colleges as primary school teachers who are in the bracket of 18, 17, 19. They also come out as teachers, but they need a lot of mentoring. So that's basically my experience with teens, which I want to share with you in detail.
So, Issa, what are the major challenges that you deal with in school regarding managing teens and by extension managing their parents?
Thank you very much, Lillian. Teens are very sweet. They had the process you go through in doing something, the better the results and the sweeter the results. Teenage age is a time of a lot of changes in hormonal transitions. So the teens have a lot of energy, both positive and negative, and directing that energy positively needs both the parents and the teachers. One of the challenges we find is that some parents don't feel that this is their responsibility. They have left basically to the teachers, and without the support of the teachers, the teens really lose out. Because there are so many times when you find that the parents don't know their children. Then there are so many times when you find that because of too much love by the parents, the children skip so many things. Actually, in my experience, you find that these days parents don't even call their children by names. Mumbeja, Junior, sweetheart, honey. So when these children, in one way or the other, get emotionally off, the parents even get worse. The parents even become more sick than the children. But it ends up counting on us, the teachers. There are so many things we report to the parents and say, please, your child ABCD, and the parents will be in arms with us. When we get the children annoyed, when we say no because they're not used to know about certain things, the children are in arms with us, and when they talk to their parents, the parents also wake up and say, no, my children came here to study. They didn't come here to do anything. But for us as teachers, it's basically about what happens with the heart, what happens with the brain, and the general body of the child. But some parents think that we are only concerned with the brain. So when we get children to do certain things, parents really don't agree with us. And that's why we find a hurdle. Yes, please.
Are there any other challenge? Give us an example of one major challenge you experienced between a parent and a teen, and maybe it could have been something to do with what the teacher told the parent and the parent's reaction to what you or another teacher told the child or the parent?
Thank you very much. I would want to make it very clear that these teens have got two sides. There's a side they show at home, there's a side they show at school. And some parents don't agree that the children have got two sides. So the little they know about the children, and I'll tell it in quotes, because actually most times you find that we teachers have the children more time than the parents, which the parents don't agree. But as we report some things to the parents, for example, let me give you an example. As you said, I should give an example. I have a senior 2 child who happens to occasionally wet the bed. And we called the parent and said, please, you need to buy a rhino trap to put on the child's mattress.
This in a boarding school?
Boarding school, yes. So you need to buy a rhino trap to put on the mattress because occasionally this young lady wets the bed. And I'm telling you, the parent was in arms with us. Even the voice changed, everything changed and started quarreling with us. Said, you people are against my child. How do you say bad things about my children? My child has never done that. Even when you tell the child, please, can you explain to the mother what happens here at school? As the child tries to explain and say, mommy, occasionally, the teachers have told you what to tell me. I don't have, no, keep quiet. Teachers come and tell you, can't tell your mother this and this, and you start telling me that. That's one. So that's one challenge that we meet. Then the other one is about coupling. Especially senior 2, senior 3 children start getting attracted to the opposite sex. But then you find that at home, when you talk about relationships, coupling at that age, it becomes a no-go area. And the children behave so holy, they don't even want to hear that conversation. Now when they come to school and those things come out, we normally counsel them, guide them, bring them on board and try to keep on encouraging them to behave well and wait for a right time for that. But when it goes too extreme, we are normally left with no option but to involve the parent. Now when you call the parent, especially with all due respect, especially the mothers, when the mother comes and you say, now, Mama Janet, thank you for coming, but the issue at hand is this. We need to work together to ensure that we guide our child, to ensure that these relations don't disorganize her social and academic development. The parents will say, my child, no, you people, I think there's a problem here, so many things. So parents, for me, I would want to advise that when these teachers, matrons are talking about your children, give them all the attention you can. Because basically we don't have any grudges with our children. We call them our children. We feel good when they are talked good about. We feel good when they do good things at home and there's a lot of good recommendation. We feel so good.
And their success is your success.
Exactly. When these children succeed in any field, say, oh, that girl was so good, that boy. So whenever we see things, the children trying to go off, we really pick concern. Then the other area that parents don't want to agree is that some children steal. At home, I don't know, they may not have the opportunity to show this habit, but at school, there are so many, I would call them maybe attractions, and these children, sometimes children bring a lot of eats and put them into the suitcases, and then some children come and try to steal. And when we get some cases and we talk to them and the habit tries to not reduce, we still involve the parent. I am telling you, sometimes when you tell them your child does ABC, then maybe take some breads, take some biscuits or some dads which are not given to him, some parents really don't want to listen and they say, we are saying wrong, we are trying to deceive about their children. So dear parents, these teens can hide so much from you, but there are some things that they do in your absence. There are some things they do at the back of your back, which other people say. When they do, please, and they try to involve you, give a listening ear, give time, and we counsel and guide these children. But when you make a block of yourself against the teachers or the school administration, really you don't help these children so much. So those are basically some of the examples where the parents have not supported us enough. Some parents, although there are others who really also come in and they are so supportive, they sit with the children and listen to the teachers and the counsel, and they are calm, and the children really feel they should change certain habits. So this is basically what I'm talking about, that the teens are double-sided. When we talk about a side you don't know, just dig and dig deeper and see what we should do together.
So what you're actually saying is that these teens have a double life, a double character, that they display at home, and then they have also that character that they display at school. Now for us parents, I know I'm also a teacher, but as a parent, we don't get to see how our children behave at school.
Exactly.
We only get to see how they behave at home.
And you add that the time you have them at home is a shorter time.
So they actually have two different personalities in different settings.
Can I say three?
Three.
Because
Tell me about the
we
third
have one at home where you can describe your child, your daughter, your son. My child is ABC, and you are very right, because that's what you see. Then the community in which the child lives, especially communities which are open, like in the villages where a child can be free to interact with so many families freely, especially in the holidays, the community also has what they read about that teen. Then when they come to school, they also exhibit a different character. So there are three which you as a parent is supposed to search and dig deep into. What does the community say about my teen? What does the school say about my teen? And receiving it positively in a manner that you are soft clear, to take in and see how best do I help the child. But my experience is that some parents, even in the community, there are some concerned adults or elders who would want to really come in and say, Lillian, our daughter, Lillian, our son, please. But because sometimes they think you're not going to react positively, they keep it to themselves. Our time when we were growing up in the 70s, Lillian, a neighbor would say, Mutabani wa Mr. Antege, you do this, lie down. Can even give you a punishment and say, sweep, slash here. You couldn't refuse. You refuse and dad gets to know, you could do 5 times that punishment. But this time, the parents, because of the love I've told you, they don't want anybody who tells them anything negative about their children. But the growing process really includes both the positives and the negatives. It's how you handle those negatives that you're going to bring out a fully well-developed child. So I'm saying that these three sides, as a parent, you should pick interest in knowing what does the community say about my child, what is it that the school says. Talk to the matrons, talk to the teachers. Sometimes even you can talk to the kitchen staff. There are some things that the kitchen staff know about our children that we teachers even don't know. You find a cook telling you, Mr. Antege, James, talk to James. James takes 4 plates. So for us, when they talk to us, we really listen and see how best to help James and the like.
And it's really what you're saying, I think, really makes a lot of sense. It's about us receiving this information as something that is going to help us to guide this teen, because it's supposed to be factual information. You're telling us what you're observing the child do at school, because you're not making assumptions about the child's behavior. You're observing the child, the way they are behaving, and you're relaying that information to parents, and then parents are denying. But is there a difference between the way children in private schools, teens in private schools behave, and those in government schools?
I would say 100% different. Now, the structure of these two different setups of schools is different. In a government school, especially those at a given level, the parents have an attachment, and there is a culture, tradition that has been developed by that school over time, and the parent feels my child should be there. So the parents are begging the school to keep the child.
Oh, yeah.
So even when anything happens, the parents treat the administration, the school leadership, the teachers with respect. Because for them, suspension, expulsion, they do it and they don't feel it. Now, when you go to the other side, the private schools, most of the proprietors of private schools, with due respect, are not teachers. They make it as an investment, a business investment. The more the clients, the better the returns. I would want to tell you, Lillian, that there are some directors who are in touch with almost every parent. And when these parents report and say, Issa, director, Issa, my child says Issa is not good to him. My child says Issa maybe is high-ended. Issa doesn't teach well. Some directors will not want to find out what exactly do they mean. When they say Issa is not teaching well, can I go to the ground and find out what are these indicators? What's not going right? So for them, they'll come and be tough on the teacher and say, please, my children are complaining about you. You either style up or you leave. Some directors feel it is cheaper to lose a teacher, it is cheaper to lose a matron, it's cheaper to lose maybe a cook than losing one child.
Really? Even when they behaved badly?
I don't know how I can explain this, but the truth is, we as teachers, we have some values that we want to see in the children. By virtue of our training, by virtue of our experience, just like I told you, we mind about what the child takes into the brain, how the child's body is being trained to do certain things here and there, and what the child values in terms of affective, in terms of the heart. What does the child value? So this is what builds the teacher's profession. But then for the director, they are looking at how many children are in the school. So very few go to the detail of what do my teachers do with the children. Let me tell you, Lillian, it is absurd that some schools have gone to the extent of either giving substandard. We have what we call competence-based, age-related competencies, and then grade-related competencies. That when you talk about a senior 2 child, then we expect that in chemistry should be at this level, in this subject. Then when you are testing, still there are some things that you bring out. But then because there is pressure on results, the parents only want one thing. My child has got 90. My child has got 70. But their abilities natural are different. To be sincere, there are some children who have been average, scoring D, scoring C, scoring E. But then you find that when you take them to the field, in athletics, take them to ball games, take them to other co-curricular like music, dance and drama, they are people to look at. But when it comes to the brain things, the academic things, they are average. But then many parents do not want to know, what does my child do in the field? What does my child? They just want to look at the report. The report says chemistry, biology, and when the children are not performed well, you are tasked to explain. And some parents even change schools because the children are not performing well. They don't go to details of finding out what is not right. How do we support this child? So I've got examples of where parents can change a child 3 times a year because they are looking for results. So some private schools have gone to the level of saying, now we are supposed to simplify the exams,
so that they can attain the results the parents want.
High.
But then there are the national examinations. Then how do those children perform?
I think me and you are Ugandans, eh? To be sincere, when it comes to the private schools, the games are so many. I've got examples of where a child leaves senior 4 with very good results. Goes to 11 and is given a certain combination, let's say biology, chemistry, and math. Because you pass it at O level, you qualify for it at A level. A level term 1 is not able to pass any of those subjects. And the school, some schools which are serious will make you change a combination or make you change school. So that tells you that in terms of the national exams, reliability and reliance varies. There are those who score on paper, but put them in practice, nothing. So I wouldn't want to go into the details of how they do it, but the issue of results has got so many games.
Hold that one. We shall come back because I want us to talk about career guidance for teens at some point. So let's talk about that when we come to career guidance.
Alright.
But in relation to this topic of teens having a different personality at home, in the community, and at school, as you've said, what advice can you give parents, especially when they come to visit their children at school and they are checking on their performance and they are being told different things about their children, especially if it's negative? What advice do you give parents? How should we respond?
I would want to start from the base, from the foundation, that some homes, because of the economic pressures, mommy is maybe 90% out of home, dad is 95% out of home, and maybe there are maids at home, there are caretakers at home. And when you have not put clear standards, basic international accepted social etiquettes, some children miss out. Now, by the time they come to school, there are values that they have missed from home, and we would want to build from that as teachers. Sometimes we find it difficult. That's where we get a challenge. That's in relation to your question, that how should the parents or guardians respond to reports about their children, especially when they are negative. I'm simply saying, parents, find time for school. Kindly find time for school. We have invited these parents so many times, either meeting or individual parents, and the parents will always send messengers. I'm busy, I'm in a workshop, I'm in this, and you find that a whole year you've called the parent 3 times and has not appeared at all. And the person, sometimes they send maids. That's what the school is saying. And when this maid is trying out to come and explain, you shut them down. But they are reporting what the school has told them. So for us, when you send us somebody, we'll try to explain. So, this ABCD, we want to, please take this information. And before the maid explains maybe to 30% of what they have told him, you shut the child, the lady down, or you shut the younger man down. So at the end of the day, you've not helped the school, you've not helped the child. So for me, I'm requesting that in our busy schedules, actually, many parents say they are working for their children. But putting the infrastructure, maybe the home infrastructure in place, maybe paying fees in time is really appreciated. But there is a side of time. You listen to the child. Being physically present with the child is a training. And when they miss it out, there is a gap that comes in their molding, in their building. So I'm simply requesting that parents, in all your busy schedules, please, family should be put in that busy schedule. And family means the children in this case. So when they call you in school A, you'd rather talk to the school leadership and say, please, Monday is hard for me, can I come on Tuesday? But find time.
Find time to be present. And
when you physically get there, don't go with a preconceived kind of approach. I'm going to show them. You know, people say, teachers are wiseacres. You know, you call a parent and already has that built in his mind. Let me go and listen to this nonsense and I'll put it right. Parents come and say, I'm going to put that one right. Daddy, mommy, you know our daughter, our son, you started. For us, people say we are sweet in talk. And the parent will now start to, have you finished? Now the parents are lecturing you. My child, please leave my child. Mumbeja. This teacher, if he's not able to understand, always give me a call. So parents, really building these children to maturity, to be responsible citizens, takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of patience, and a lot of listening. Come, listen, and process, and team up with the school leadership to help that child. That's my cry. Isa,
thank you very much. This has really been exciting talking to you. And you know, much as I've been a teacher myself, I know that I am also a parent, and I see myself in some of these conversations that you're making. I would wish to invite you another time to talk about career and advise especially parents on how we can support our teens. If you've enjoyed listening to us, please subscribe, comment, like, so that you can see more videos like this. Thank you very much, Isa, and see you
Thank you so much, Lilian. Thank you for the opportunity. Please comment, because we want also to learn from their feedback.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.